Pepper ball ain't bad. I've been hitting the head with it. I got hit. I still have the scars on my arm from the tear gas
It's like a paintball gun
that shot me in the arm and leg.
Yeah.
I didn't sue because I was playing stupid games and I won that stupid prize.
Well, the officers also like aren't John Wick. Like they'll fire it.
No, this guy was John Wick. He straight up. You're supposed to shoot the tear gas canisters off the ground, and this is my first night. Talk about your first night in Portland. My first night in Portland, July of 2020. I show up. I'm live on the Daily Caller's Facebook. And
those were good live streams that you guys were doing.
Oh, yeah, they were good.
Those were great live streams.
And you can only do it when it's chaotic because otherwise they'll triangulate your position. So they're all out. They're pushing everybody back, and I'm in between the rioters and the police, and I'm like shaking my gas mask because the guy aims the breech-loaded tear gas shell right at me. They're supposed to shoot it off the ground, and he just blasts me in the arm. My phone falls on the ground. I'm swearing, and as I go to pick up my phone, he reloads and blasts me again in the leg.
Wait, hold on. He shot a tear gas canister at you?
Oh, yeah.
Can't that like
yeah. I thought I broke my radius. Like I literally thought, I mean, I still had the scar on my arm and it's a bigger one on my leg.
Are they still shooting those? Did they stop? Because those are dangerous.
I don't know. It was not fun. But with that being said, it's like I put myself in that situation.
There were lawsuits from protest rioters complaining that they were shot with rubber bullets.
Yeah, those are worse than the pepper ball. I will say the rubber bullet hurts.
The 40 millimeter?
Yes, 40
But
millimeter.
they were suing about the rubber bullets.
Yeah, the metal.
It's also scary.
The way that the rubber bullets came in is that all of the police departments were required to use less lethal munitions.
Yeah.
And then also apparently you can't use those. Like, what's the deal? How are police officers?
You just have to. It's just going to be hand-to-hand combat from now on. That's what they want.
I mean, what is certainly effective is tear gas is effective. Pepper balls are pretty effective too. Whatever they're using in Portland, by the way, those pepper balls. So basically, it's a paintball thing, hard shell, whatever's inside, some chemical irritant.
Yeah.
And whatever they were using in Portland the other day was really strong. I mean, it's way spicier than I remember.
You get a little bit of it can be shot 10 minutes ago, and that wind picks up a little bit. It'll pick it right back off the ground.
They'll just shoot the ground, and it'll be getting. I mean, it'll.
I still have a backpack that I can't use because it's still covered in pepper balls. Every time I grab it, it's like it gets on my hands again.
Super
I'm like, oh no! Just like flashes me right back to 2020.
But so they have strategy for it. They go around and they just pour water all over it, like the Antifa people do, and then they have. I saw these people when I was up on the rooftop. They had cones, which was interesting. So if there was some sort of like tear gas or something,
they put the cone over it. They would go up the water on it,
right? Yeah. And what they do in that case is they just start unloading pepper balls on you. But these people just weren't affected by that at all. So I don't know. Maybe they will have to. If it intensifies, they're going to have to use something more than that.
These left-wing groups, they hold like trainings for their quote-unquote medics and media and all that stuff that they have, but all of it revolves around rioting and what to do. I don't know. I mean, in 2020 and 2021, like you would never get an interview with somebody that you would consider Antifa, but I was talking to a medic the other day, quote unquote medic that they had, and she was spilling the beans, and she kind of realized halfway through the conversation that I was asking all these probing questions about their tactics and how often they're holding, trainings.
This clip up?
I actually not yet. I will release it though because it's pretty interesting because she's saying, oh yeah, we train once a month and mainly having to do with what to do at riots and how to take care of people, and I'm just listening to this like I can't even believe you're spilling all this. But once again, a lot of these people, there's probably different categories. Andy, I don't know if you have like a breakdown of who you consider kind of Antifa and who these people are. You'll have like mentally ill, you'll have homeless, you'll have drug addicts, you'll have
basement
trans,
dwellers.
you'll have it's kind of like this big mixture of people. Some are threatening, some aren't threatening. The homeless people that have nothing to lose, that are violent, those ones are scary because they don't care. And so I don't know where she was on that, but she was definitely,
Was this an odd one, or was it one of the? There was one that was dressed in military fatigues that had the medic and the trans flag next to it, which was. She ran up to me with pepper spray and was like, "You can't film medics. That's illegal in Oregon." And somebody came up behind her, and knocked the pepper spray out of her.
Yeah, they make up these rules that you like somehow have to abide by. I don't know what's going on there. No, this girl was wearing their yellow vest people that they have.
Is that the National Lawyers Guild?
No,
those are the green.
No,
those are the green.
Because I remember when I used to go to protests when I was like a leftist, and I would go to protests. Mostly, I protested the Iraq War and the Patriot Act. So I would still protest both those things. But anyway, the National Lawyers Guild would come out and you'd like end up talking to National Lawyers Guild people and they'd tell you what to do. And we didn't have cell phones, but, you know, they were like, if you did have cell phones, you know, delete all your contacts, put them somewhere else, write phone numbers on your arm because you're not going to be able to, they're going to take your stuff. So you want to be able to make your phone call. And they were very, they would be very aggressive. Like I remember marching around with like the transit union on, was it 57th Street in New York City? And Jerry Springer was there and that was pretty funny. But I think I still have photos of that. But you were recently talking about the National Lawyers Guild. And even all these years later, I was surprised to find that these guys were like the epitome of, you know,
They're out there for sure.
far left crazy people.
How effective are they?
So the National Lawyers Guild is probably the most important support.
I saw them
auxiliary group.
de-arrest people back in like 2003, but yeah, anyway, go ahead.
NLG is the most important group that supports Antifa because they provide the legal aid, and they have a huge infrastructure for it. It's a nonprofit, and they have chapters at basically all the law universities across the United States. So students, radical leftist students who are in a JD program, become members, and they volunteer to be, they say, legal observers. You see them wearing a green hat or a green helmet now. And when I first saw them years ago back then, and I knew nothing about them, I was very naive. I was thinking, oh, these were independent legal observers just keeping an eye on things and making sure that people's civil rights weren't violated. No. They're there to aid in the rioting itself. They themselves usually do not commit crimes. They're smarter than that, but they're there to record things selectively, gather evidence for the lawfare against police in cities to try to restrict police's ability to use certain tools. For a time in Portland, and this might be in effect now, for example, Portland police were barred by the city council from using tear gas. I don't know if that's still in effect, but there was like, anyways, the NLG also provides bail funds, and it's an old group. It goes back to the time when communists were quite active politically in the U.S., and they were providing legal counsel and aid to them. That's like kind of their origins. On their website today, they have a post that's been up for years explaining that they don't condemn political violence, that they say fascism has to be defeated by any means necessary. And they're
On whose website?
NLG.
No way.
Yes.
Well, I don't know why I'm
That's
surprised
wild.
about that. But
Who
still.
bankrolls them?
That's a huge question. Yeah,
Well, you can pull up their
they're like
their tax
990s.
filing. Yeah, that one. It's they're required to fill it out. They have a lot of money, and then so NLG is the biggest one, but they have like affiliate groups that function the same way in a region or a state level. In Oregon, there are several of these. They get state funding, taxpayer funds through the grants from the state. One gets money from Tides, which is Soror's.
Oh,
They're getting money from the state to fight the state?
Yes.
Yeah, they get grants.
Andy,
Fantastic.
did you happen to give any information about that to the Trump administration the other day? Because all of these little things, you know, if we can get these at the forefront of the conversation, whether they, you know, maybe they can't shut that down, but maybe they can create consequences for states using taxpayer dollars going to these groups.
So, you know, we were each given an opportunity to speak maximum 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. So none of us could get into the granular of anything.
Yeah.
And
I know you were giving them some documentation, though.
yes, there was. I didn't mention the NLG on that. I kept it shorter. But that's part of, like, the Antifa apparatus has to, it's big. And it includes the nonprofits is a huge part of it. That's why over and over we see even the suspects who are prosecuted because they did things like felony arson or stabbing somebody, like really serious felonies, they get out with sweetheart deals because they have free legal representation that's funded by taxpayers for specifically far left terrorists.
This is
So
something
this
that
NL
came up in the Oh, go ahead.
Well, just wanted to add this. I actually responded to your post about the. I didn't know much about the National Lawyers Guild until I guess when I lived in Austin at the time. This was last year in the summer. Me and my ex-girlfriend lived down there, and we were covering the
Nice city.
Yeah, parts of it.
Okay.
They're turning it into a hellhole. But anyway, so we're at UT Austin, where there were protests happening there over, I believe they were like over Israel or something. So you had these National Lawyers Guild people in the green hats that are down there, and my ex-girlfriend was recording the unrest that was going on there at UT Austin. And this NLG chick came up, grabbed my girlfriend's phone, and chucked it on the ground. And it shattered the entire screen, and the phone, the touch screen didn't work anymore or anything like that. And UT Austin's general counsel saw it happen, and so he actually went and helped us file with police against this woman. We knew who she was and everything. We had her name, had her picture. And the Travis County DA declined to prosecute the case.
Why?
So,
they just thought
because it's Travis County and it's Austin.
they just didn't care.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.